What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the vlog. I just did the panel gaps video, the quality control video. Now we're going to take it out for full self-driving. We're on 44.30.5. This is the latest beta release. It's currently January 1st, 2023. And let's take a ride. All right, everybody, we're inside. Now I want to go ahead and go to the autopilot settings. And I did just switch it to Assertive. So in Assertive on full self-driving beta profile, it says, in this profile, your Model 3 will have smaller following distance, perform more frequent speed-based lane changes, and will not exit the passing lanes. So let's go ahead and see how it does on Assertive today. We're gonna kind of take a different route, one that we've never driven on before, and let's hit the road. All right, we've got the route programmed. We're gonna go ahead and turn on FSD Beta, and let's see if we can get there. So it doesn't want to let me turn it on right here in the parking lot. I'm just going to kind of pull up to the stop sign and try it from here. Doesn't like it with no lane markings. Happy New Year's, everybody. And now FSD Beta is on. Road. Definitely stopped pretty far back. Creeping up, we have no traffic to the left currently, and here we go. We do have a bike lane right on the inside, which we are currently in. Let's see if we get out of the bike lane. I'm gonna go ahead and arrow over just to see if we can get out of this bike lane. Turn right onto Aviary Way. One thing I've noticed is that the tracking as far as planning on streets, which route it's gonna take or which lane it's gonna be in. Oh, okay, so that was pretty good. It did jerk to the right a little bit, but we are taking a right, so we did have to get into the lane. Now turn right onto but what I was gonna say is I'm gonna use the blinker sometimes, and I'll let you know if I need to, if I feel like it's gonna miss the turn or not. Nice turn on yellow. It does already feel a little bit aggressive being on assertive mode. Now the speed limit here is 25, we're sitting at 30. I do have autopilot set up to go 5 miles over, which you'll find in the autopilot controls right here. Yeah, we did speed up now, 35 miles an hour, and it's good because we got cars behind us going, why are you going so slow? Stop sign coming up. The other day it almost blew right through the stop sign. Okay, so it did a late reaction. Now the other day I turned it off on FSD Beta at that stop sign because I felt like it didn't see it at all, but it looks like it just did a late brake there. Pretty chill through that intersection as far as acceleration. Kind of slowing down here for the pedestrian crosswalk. I want to say it scrubbed off about 6 miles an hour there. And now we're going below the speed limit. I'm going to go ahead and speed it up to 35 here. It didn't recognize that sign in time. Car behind me is moving over because we're going too slow. Now we are going to cross through this stoplight and then take the next left. So pretty quickly here, we're gonna need to get in the left lane. I'm gonna go ahead and drop it back down to 35, let these cars kind of pass a little bit. Ooh, that car's like getting up on my lane too. He must have a little road rage for me going slow. That tends to happen. All right, arrowing over, perfect. Yeah, we gotta jump over quickly here, and it did it perfectly. Left onto West Centennial Parkway. It wanted to dive into the far lane, now it's in the middle, and back to the left. That would have been a perfect maneuver if it didn't jump into the middle. So now on the trips, if you click on the little show cards here, you can actually see it down here. So you can see your watt hours per mile and any card that you click, and then also your PSI. I like to run a little bit high on the tire pressure, right around 4950. Now one thing you can do is you can hide it like that, and then it pops up this little music symbol, and then you can just pull it right back up. So cool. I really do like that. Got the green arrow. It showed their door open there for a second. And we're taking this slow, nice and tight around this turn. Well done. Not the smoothest it could be, but it was pretty smooth. I mean, pretty well done. So it looks like we're gonna be taking a left here. Let's go ahead and reroute this navigation. We'll go ahead and end this trip. Go ahead and go this way. Turn right onto Farrell Street. It popped in a quick right there, so it's gonna have to reroute Oh, we are slowing down. I'm gonna go ahead and give it some acceleration here. And now it's back on track. So I have noticed that between switching routes on the fly, it has a little bit of a delay there. I didn't notice that months ago, but recently I have noticed that. Arrows on, green light, no traffic. Turned yellow and nice and smooth. Another well done turn there. We are getting into the left lane, not sure why. Let's go ahead and add another stop. All right, on this new stop, we're going to be taking a right at the next stoplight. So any moment here, we should get into the right lane.
1,000 feet, turn right onto West Tropical Parkway.
Speed limit just saw the 45 sign and bumped up. We're arrowing over. Got pedestrians. Will the car slow down to them? Oh my goodness. It almost looked like they wanted to come out. The Tesla, little late, did swerve out of the way a little. But it almost looked like the kid was going to fall off the scooter there. And another nice tight right turn. I really do like how it's keeping a little bit of distance now away from the curb on these right turns. Got a left turn coming up. And as soon as we'll go ahead and get out of this neighborhood, and we'll get into some city traffic here shortly. So far, this FSD Beta is fire. I love it. I never wanted to use it this much before because it had so many errors just driving straight on a street before. But now it's definitely gotten a lot better to mastery at cruising straight. All right, left lane, it's about to open up here, and we're diving in. A little far back, we're right behind the stop sign. We're definitely gonna have to creep here. I can't see to the left or to the right. Autopilot's paused, waiting for turn. Okay, we're speeding up, but it can... Okay, since we're at a stop sign, I guess it thinks we're safe. But typically, I would want to pull up just to make sure no one's going to be running that red light. Go ahead and add another stop. We'll take a right here at the stoplight. Go ahead and add another stop there so we can continue the route. We are getting a little bit of rain. Got quite a bit of rain last night, overnight for the New Year's. Okay, if you're in California, you guys have been getting soaked. Hope you guys are staying safe out there. Okay, so it is pulling up, and again, it did cock the wheel to the left, which is kind of odd. We're gonna have to creep up for visibility. Left. Oh, okay. So we definitely jumped ahead of those people across the street. They had their left green arrow, and we pulled it off. Maneuvers like that you do have to do quick, because if we would have went slow, the cars would have approached us too quick. Might have had an error there. But I guess that's how it is on Assertive. Before, when I had it on chill, I don't think it would do that type of behavior. And I did see someone post in the comments that maybe on Assertive it'll take a right on a red light, and I have a feeling that that might be true. Go ahead and add another stop. It was going to take us into a neighborhood over here. So now we're going to go through this light. We're going to take a left at Decatur coming up. All right, light is green and we are cruising. So smooth. If you guys have joined the subscription, leave me a comment below and let me know how many days it took for you to get the update pushed to your vehicle. We are speeding up. We're going 5 over, so we're doing 50 and a 45. Nice and aggressive. Not too aggressive, but nice and aggressive. All right, we have light coming up.
In 500 feet, turn left onto North Decatur Boulevard.
And left blinkers on, diving over into the far lane. So that's a perfect dive into the far lane.
Drive west on West End Road for 1.5 miles.
Okay, so I switched the navigation and it messed up my route. Let me go ahead and let it reroute us here once I cross over. Again, there was a delay there. As soon as I put on FSD and it was working with the reroute there, it pretty much puts on the brakes. So it should have been doing 40 and it braked me pretty hard. And then you can feel it like get assertive again and take control. So again, there's a weird delay on the navigation, tracking, mapping, like as far as I'm communicating sometimes when you first turn on FSD Beta. Oh, it pulled the wheel pretty tight over to the line, far enough to where the truck behind me is like, I'm getting out of that lane. He kind of moved over a little bit. For some reason, it pulled me into the center.
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto West Lone Mountain Road.
Just cruising here, 5 over. We got the light coming up.
Now
Slowing down.
Onto West Lone Mountain Road.
Oh, nice and tight around that turn. Too tight. We're in the bike lane and it's arrowing over and got into the right lane. I've noticed that it does that quite a lot here in the streets I've been driving. It'll want to get into the bike lane and drive in it for a little while, which it would not be good if we were in traffic, but no one was behind us, so we are okay there. Getting into the left lane. Whoa, I thought I was getting into the left lane. That's a perfect example of it using the blinkers when it doesn't really need to. At another destination.
Mountain Road for 1.4 miles.
So on this route, it's actually going to take us onto the 95, onto the freeway. It would be great if we had the V11 already, but I hear that's coming soon. I heard Elon talking about it coming before the end of the year, but I think we did miss that. It is the first now, but I feel like it's coming soon. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of activity on the Tesla website soon. Price changes, tax credit information, new models. We got the Cybertruck coming up, the Highland model. So much going on right now behind the scenes. This guy's taking a right and we are being assertive, and that was very good. Kind of inched over to the left a little bit there. Whenever it does those maneuvers, and you know, the other people do get worried, I have to say. You know, on this Beta build, you could probably do quite a few no intervention drives, but I will have to say in Las Vegas, it won't be pretty. You'll see a lot of that turning into the bike lane, and a lot of, it's just really once it gets more traffic is where it's going to get a little bit more difficult, because if you do crazy maneuvers in traffic, it could be dangerous. And if not dangerous to the cars or getting into an accident, but dangerous to cause road rage. Green light, nice tracking right across. That is a lot better than a lot of the old builds too. Nice and confident. Very good around that, or right through the intersection. Got the left arrow on, getting into the left lane. Not sure at all why we're going to be taking a right up there in less than half a mile. So within half a mile, it gets us out of the correct lane. I don't get it. Like, if I wish I knew what was sending the signal to the car to do that. Was it this guy getting us too close maybe behind us? I doubt it, but possibly. Now we're getting back into the right lane.
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto North Rancho Drive.
Nope, we're gonna go ahead and cancel that one. It wants us to go in the right lane, but we need to take a right here.
Now turn right onto North Rancho Drive.
All right, now it's got the right blinker. So yeah, the car behind me is going, what is going on? And we're kind of pulling to the left here. We're doing a fast turn. Nice and assertive turn. If it wasn't for it pulling to the left a couple times, I think that would have been a pretty good turn. As soon as it did that maneuver, the cars behind me were like backed off quickly. They thought I was gonna jump to the left, especially how I used my blinker to the left just a minute prior. All right, so now we're on Rancho. This actually feeds right into the freeway, so let's see how it acts here.
In 500 feet, keep right to
This will be
stay on
perfect for the
North Rancho
V11
Drive.
stack. So
Now
it's still
keep
showing
right to stay
45.
on
We're doing
North
5
Rancho
over.
Drive.
It kind of wants us to get out of here, but we're not going to do that. Well, actually, you know what? It was going on the correct route, I will have to say. So let's see if it reroutes us now on the highway here. So I thought it was taking us on the highway. I didn't know it was. So it was actually doing perfect getting us off here. We're doing 40 or 50 on a 45, and we have a 55 speed limit sign. So let's see if it notices that here.
South exit on the right.
And we just passed it. The car's speeding up, and traffic is coming up behind. So I'm going to raise it up to 70. We're still in FSD Beta. It hasn't switched over to navigate on autopilot yet. We're speeding up. Are we clear? We got a car in the second lane, so we should be clear to get in the first lane here. Lanes running out, lanes opening up, and I took over there. So it actually just went on to navigate on autopilot, and I currently have it set up to where I have to use my blinker, but it didn't give me any, I didn't see any, it only showed the visualization. So I think it's because I don't have it set up to chime. So if I changed it down here, where is it, autopilot settings?
Now take the county highway 215
I could have changed to give me a
south exit
chime,
on
but
the
I didn't
right.
notice, so I didn't hear it. So it is taking us to get on the freeway here. So what's strange is it did the arrow there. Let's go ahead and see if we can arrow to the... Okay, I put on the left arrow. It did not like that at all. It slowed the whole vehicle down. I'm gonna go ahead and give it some acceleration. It's doing the left arrow again, even though we got cones coming up. I'll have to change the settings when we're parked.
1 mile.
Okay, so are we gonna hit the cones? Oh my goodness, it got very close to those cones before I had to take over. All right, putting it back into navigate on autopilot, slowing it down. We are going fast. We got a police up here. All right, so now I got to set to 50. Let's go ahead and speed it back up to 65. Got a lot of wind up here on the freeway. And this is the spaghetti bowl they've been working on for a little while now. You can just feel that wind pushing the vehicle. Got a lot of little bumps in the road here, maybe while they're working on it. Now we're slowing down to 50. Okay, so it saw the speed limit drop to 45, so it slowed us down there. That's another thing that, oh my God, look at all the trash. That's another thing that can introduce problems into the system is if it, what are we doing here? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna take over there because there's a car right on my left, and I don't want him to think we're going into his lane. We would have probably maneuvered right back in the lane, but it was a little bit too aggressive. And now we are exiting the freeway. Braking. So yeah, that's what I was saying is if it doesn't read the speed limit signs too well or too quickly, it could introduce a lot of noise into the system where people don't know what you're doing. Now where are we going? We should be okay, we're gonna take a left here. It's quite a task to drive and handle FSD Beta and talk. I feel like it switches off part of my brain when I start talking, so I really got to pay attention. And I always like to keep my hands near the wheel, although I'm not putting any input in, only just enough to keep the nag. This should be an interesting turn because the median is pretty far up, so it'll have to go out and then take a nice tight turn. We have no traffic currently behind us. Here we go. Got the blue cars, it does see those. And with that being said, it kind of creeped out very slow. Taking it really tight here. Oh, it kind of got a little jerky there, but it did good. Now we're in the wrong lane. So it's arrowing left in the wrong lane. And then we just arrowed right to get into the right lane there.
In 500 feet, turn
We got to get into the left lane here.
Centennial Parkway.
Very good. And again, it wanted to go to the far lane, but this time it actually committed to the middle lane a little bit quicker. Lost the camera there for a second. Got to work on that suction mount. All right, so we're taking the left turn here on Centennial. We're in the second lane. And it did pretty good. It almost wanted to go into the first lane, but it kind of did a little bit of wheel tug there and stayed in the second lane. I'm gonna go ahead and arrow over to the left lane. I still like that you can still put in a little bit of controls on the FSD Beta if you wanted to. All right, everybody, that's gonna wrap it up for another full self-driving beta video. This is 44.30.5. Let me know what you think about it below in the comments. Hit like if you like the video. If you wanna see some more, hit subscribe if you wanna follow me for more, and we will see you on the next one. Have a great day.